Okay, so how do we how do we set up our focus map? So first you'll notice that the focus map controls are actually grayed out initially. The reason for that is because we actually have to set the way that we're going to scan, the parameters of our scan before we can set the focus map. So we'll go down to well plate multi-point and maybe I'll pick XY. Let's just say I want to scan some XY positions. We're actually looking at a slide here, so I probably just want to scan around my current position. And instead of a 0.1 millimeter square, how about we do a 10 millimeter square? Okay. So with my negative overlap here, my spacing, this is giving me a 4x4 grid across those 10 millimeters. So now that it gives me the ability to set up my use focus map, or set up my focus map by selecting use focus map. So when I do that, I get this set of 3x3 green points, which is being populated by my focus grid settings. And these are the focus points that are going to be used to set the focus map. So I can make this focus grid more or less dense by increasing or decreasing the number of points in the grid. And there's a few other controls we have with selecting the grid itself, but the mechanics of actually setting the map are pretty straightforward. So you're just going to click on this next button to visit each of these points. You can see that we have physically moved the stage to the next position in the focal map or on the focal grid. We would then toggle focus accordingly, pretty much like where we were. And then once we're happy, we simply hit Update Z. And Update Z will update the Z for that point. So it's just a matter of going through each of these points by hitting Next, updating Z if required, and then going to the next point. Edit will allow you to set the X, Y, and Z position for a particular point a little bit more precisely without using the physical focus knobs. Finally, we have some additional controls for modifying the grid. So first, I could remove all of these focus points. And let's just say, for instance, that maybe my focus point or my grid I just set larger than I needed to. So maybe I'm really interested in just kind of the focus around this particular area of the sample. So I can actually add a focal point where the XY stage happens to be by hitting Add. It'll ask me what region. I'll do current. Maybe I just want to move over a little bit, and I'll set a few of these. Add, okay, region. That's a little more local to where I'm actually interested in. So again, you can add these focal points wherever you actually need them to be, and you can have kind of an erratic pattern, whatever you actually need to happen within your sample. Export and import allow you to actually export the focus map positions in X, Y, and Z as a CSV file, and then import them as a CSV file again. And this also takes essentially any CSV file that has the right format, which is very easy to copy if you take a look at these files. In that, if you have a more complex focus or way of finding focus that's outside of the software, you can just modulate the XYZ focus map and then you can import that. The last thing to talk about is actually a combination of settings that allows you to maintain focus very accurately across well plates. So we'll take a look at that next.